Hey, welcome to Keight Krafts. I'm Kate. Today I would like to share with you this adorable little bunny card. Let's get started. So to kick things off, I thought I would bring out the Springtime Bunny because I was inspired by the new release. So I've gone ahead and cut out all of my pieces and bits and bobs out of a shimmer cardstock. This one I think is a Recollections brand, and then the gray one that I end up using is a Nina brand that I ended up finding at the Dollar Tree of all places. So I was quite excited when I saw that, and I thought I would get it. So I used that RV10 to color in the ears, and now I'm just taking some of this Barely Arts glue, and I'm working really hard to squeeze this out. I thought, a small line would do, but later on I find out that my glue bottle is quite empty. So this is why I'm struggling with this glue, not getting enough of it out. And later I ended up filling up my bottle, and yeah, it came out like butter afterwards. And I didn't have to fight with it so much. So all I'm going to do here is take this little outline of the gray shimmer cardstock, flip that over, and line everybody up on the white cardstock. And I really love the soft colors of this card. There's something to be said about spring-themed cards and all the pastels to bring on the nicer weather. I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but we've been dumped on by snow. I saw a meme the other day on, I don't know if it was like Facebook or if it was Instagram, I couldn't remember, but it was basically Mother Nature throwing a tantrum, and every time she leaves the room, she comes back in to yell and another thing. And that's exactly how I feel about the snow that we've been having. Like, where was it over the Christmas holiday? Like, we had barely any, and then all of a sudden we get dumped on in January. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to planting the garden and seeing all the flowers bloom and, the seasonal allergies that come with the spring. So, I've got the little silver eyeballs here out of the same cardstock. I essentially cut both of the dies out. I didn't separate the dies for the outline and the background of the bunny here, and I cut them out twice so that way I could make another card later on for something else. Maybe a gray bunny with a white outline, you know what I mean? And I thought that would be kind of cute. So I decided instead of just cutting what I needed, I would cut two and then tuck the rest back into the packaging, which I really enjoy doing because it's saved me a couple of times. I know the one that I've got coming up where it is a balloon. I entered it in the Lawn Fawn challenge. I might enter this one too. But I ended up wanting to use a lacy backdrop that I have, but I hate punching out all the little tiny teardrop looking detail on it. And lo and behold, I had one that was sitting in the back of the package and it was like score. So I always try to cut out a little bit extra sometimes. That way I have an extra one and I don't have to do it again later. So that's a little tip for you. Anyway, right about here I realized that I'm missing one of the little back legs, and I ended up having to cut out just that portion of the bunny again out of the leftover scrap pieces of paper that I had. So that's just something to keep in mind, that these are little bitty pieces and something that you probably should keep separate and not knock over. So here I thought I would take the Peppermint Striped Background. I know it's more so a Christmas one or used in a lot of Christmas cards, but I thought this would be fun to use as like a fence lattice or whatever they called. So I'm just taking some of that tack off of this washi tape. I think it's a Spellbinders tape. I'm not sure. I got it in about an inch. I think it is maybe a little over an inch. I'm not sure. But I wanted to use this to create a bit of a hinge, so that way when I line everything up how I want it, I can fold that tape over, and you can see here to create that lattice. Now I was scrolling through Pinterest last night and found some inspiration by a project that Kelly Marie from Lawn Fawn did. She didn't use the Peppermint Striped Backdrop. I'm not sure which one she used, as I don't have that one in my stash. So I kind of took the Keight method. If you guys follow me on Instagram, we recently did a hop where we find a card that draws a lot of inspiration and, add the lime method. If you don't know what the limes method is, Ardith, another YouTuber, she has this method where you take a look at it and, you pick the elements that you like, you eliminate the ones that you don't, and then you add your little twist. So you're not really copying it, you're just drawing some inspiration from it. And that's kind of what I was doing here. I think Kelly Marie's was in landscape, and I'm doing this one in portrait because the peppermint stripe backdrop, unless I flip it over, um, would I get a full panel? And hindsight's 2020. I probably could have just done that, but I didn't. I wanted the embossed edges that the die makes on both sides, so that's why I'm doing it this way. So once I've got that glued down, all I gotta do is trim off the edges. Now, you could use a guillotine trimmer to trim these off, but I just had my scissors handy, so I thought I would do that. So you can see here, I've got the second panel, and I'm gonna add in my glue, and you can see how much more flowy the glue is because I had actually filled up the bottle like a smart person, and now it's just coming out in gushes, which makes it easier instead of having to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze the last drop out. I know they've got a tool for this. I think it's Misty, or I can't remember who has it, where it's almost like a hot glue gun, where you kind of squeeze it, or maybe, no, maybe like a caulking gun. I don't know. I've seen it. It's not really on my radar to get, but I thought it was kind of neat. That could save your hands, or you could just fill up your bottle if you have Barely Arts glue. And I'll make sure to leave like links in the description box where you can find these products. I do shop a lot at Hollow Tree Hobbies and Scrap and Stamp, so I will leave links to them in the description box below. One is an affiliate link, so there's no cost to you, but I do get a little bit of a kickback if you do use those links. So anyway, we've got a little bit of celery stick here, and I'm just dusting the edges, and it was a little hard to see the contrast in the paper with that blue, so I just grabbed that scrap piece of paper that I used to color the pink ears for the bunny, just so I could see that contrast a little bit better. And again, we've got the glue, and I'm just drawing a bit of a line, and then I'm flicking the glue very lightly up into those blades of grass instead of globbing it all over the place. I just wanted a little bit of glue there, and that way that'll hold some of those blades of grass down. So I've cut that down to, I think it was 2 inches. And then I cut the grass off of the top, or maybe it was just above 2 inches. I think it was 2¼ inches that I cut that panel down, and then I just used the grass border die, I think it is, or something, grassy die. I can't remember the name of it. And just cut that down to create the grass. And then we've got one of the frames here from the stitched rectangle frame that I thought that would really draw that card in together, and you got some crisp edges there. So once I've got all of that together, we are going to add our bunny. Now, this bunny, I thought, I've never used it before. I think I got it in a Given Tuesday box where you could order boxes. I think it's in November, and the proceeds go to a charity or something like that for Lawn Fawn. And I think this was one of the ones that I got in it because I'm slowly starting to appreciate the piece together dies. I didn't really like them before, but now I'm finding that, they're quite nice just to add to a card, to add as your focal point, and then a simple backdrop like what I've got going on here. And, you can add embellishments. I didn't. That's always like a last thought of mine or an afterthought, and the product or the project's already done, so I don't bother going back in to record it. I might add them later, I'm not sure. But because this bunny reminded me of the new release, I'm curious as to what you guys picked out from the new release. I know I've got a few things coming. I might do an unboxing. I'm not 100% sure yet. I was really excited for that paper pad that they've got. I know it's kind of simple and not as extravagant as some of their other ones, but sometimes simple is really nice. So here I'm just taking the scrap from the wishes part of the cutout that I did and using it just to line up the tittle for the eye. I found that this made it a little more even, and you could add embellishments to this as well. I chose not to, again, aftermath. So here you have my finished card. On the outside it says best wishes. I think this is adorable. And then when you open it up, it says to somebody special. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. You know what to do. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.